Good afternoon, everyone. This is Scott Barrett here, digital editor at the Newport Daily News. It's been a long time since we've done one of these Facebook Lives, but we got a really great special occasion here today. With me is Steve Hyder, the chairman of the Rogers High School Athletic Hall of Fame, with a very special announcement for you today. He's going to announce the class of 2020, but congratulations on a couple of things for starters before we get into this. Yeah, it really has. If you don't know, the last time I was with you, Steve was with me, and we were talking about how he was in line for a kidney transplant. He since has received that. That was what, June or July?
It's July 15th. I've been 28 weeks now since the surgery, and it's unbelievable, Scott. I feel so good. I have so much energy. It's like night and day. I've got a second chance on life, and I'm just trying to take advantage of it.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 58.
And you're a 1979
Correct.
Graduate of Rogers High School.
Yep.
So the newfound energy probably, has a lot to do with this class. You were the one who came to me and said, you saw that the Rogers High School Athletic Hall of Fame was kind of defunct, or it was taking a rest,
they were going to take a year or two off, and it turned into 7 years.
Right.
So after we talked, I got in touch with Bob Angel, I got in touch with Johnny Dias, Jimmy Saris, and we decided to get it going, and the response was phenomenal.
Yeah.
We got 37 people were nominated.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, for yourself, was that part of getting back on your feet, getting energy, and just wanting to do something to,
Absolutely.
To kind of get to your alma mater?
Yeah, I wanted to get back into living, because when I was sick, I just was existing. Now I have so much energy. People have been so good to me. I wanted to pay it forward. So what do I feel most strongly about? My association with Rogers High School. What it did for me helped me grow and become the guy that I am, for better or worse. So I decided that I'd like to get involved. And so we had the first committee meeting, and Johnny Dias, who was my gym teacher back in the old days, he says, all right, well, we want to thank Steve for getting us all back together. I nominate him as chairman. And I was like, oh, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it. But it was a pleasure to work with. The committee was fantastic. Marty Corcoran-Lees, Bob Angel, Dave Galvin, George Triplet, Johnny Dias, myself. Great people who have really Rogers' best interest at heart.
Right. And I mean, and 37 is a I don't know what they've gotten in previous years, but 37 is a pretty good amount, considering that, 5 classes have already been inducted.
Right. And the funny thing is, we're going to announce the class of 2020 here today, but we could have easily put in another 10 people.
Yeah.
Based on just on the nominations.
Right.
So there's not going to be a shortage of entrants in, and it's not, and you'll hear, when you hear the names, it's not watered down at all. It's a great class. I'm really proud of the work the committee did, and I think people are going to be excited. We're going to have the induction and the dinner May 9th at the First Beach Rotunda, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, you're doing this, but clearly there's more. I mean, what's next for you on a personal level? I know you've been out of work for some time. Yeah. You've got the energy. What are you going to do?
It's a good question. I've again, in this mode of paying forward, I've been volunteering at the Martin Luther King Center. Heather Strout runs that place, and her dad, Ricky, was one of my best friends in life ever. And so I'm really enjoying getting involved with the MLK Center. Been getting back involved with the Newport County Officials Association. I can't referee really anymore, but I've been doing timing and scoring, things like that. I've been working part-time for the Newport Recreation Department at the Hut at night, and during the summer I was working at the beach. Now, one of the downfalls of being a kidney recipient is you got to avoid prolonged contact to the sun, because you're more susceptible to skin cancer. But the trade-off is amazing. I want to get back to work, whether it's in broadcasting or whether it's working in a nonprofit situation. I'm just eager to jump back in with both feet. Because, like you said, it's been a long time since I've worked full time. It's been 2012. And
last Rogers Hall of Fame class.
Yeah, I was just
when you think of it that way.
I was just so tired all the time and really so sick. And the one recurring theme is that everybody who sees me says, "Oh my God, I can't believe how different you look."
I noticed it.
Yeah.
I know the minute you walked in today, I noticed it.
Yeah,
So.
I'm so fortunate, so fortunate. And I just, I'll never be able to repay my cousin who donated a kidney.
Right.
But Liz is doing great. We've had, so many meaningful conversations, and she had me up to her house for Christmas Eve and her family, her kids, and everything. And it's just been remarkable. It really has.
Unbelievable. What a story. All right. Well, without further ado, you want to. All right. So, I mean,
should we do an alphabetical order?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking maybe, like there are some people that I know here that I really, really, on a personal level, know and respect.
I'll follow your lead.
All right. Okay. That's suit yourself. All right. Well, first here, I don't happen to know him, but Kevin Humphries, 1975, class of 75.
Kevin Humphries is an amazing athlete. All-state at Rogers High School 5 different times, football and track. Was a member of that tremendous track team that won the New England Championship back in 73.
Right.
Just a phenomenal football player. Kevin's about maybe a little over 60 now. He lives down in Laurel, Maryland. And I personally got to call him to tell him that he was inducted. His cousin, Deirdre Henry, who was a 79 graduate, nominated him. And he was so happy. He was so pleased. And that's been the reaction from everyone who's getting into the Hall of Fame this year. And Kevin's like, I never thought, and I never thought I'd get into anything like this. But another one of his teammates from that 75 football team, 74, is going to be going in as well. I guess I'm not going to let you take the lead. I'm going to segue into it.
Well, that's good. That's good.
We're a team here.
Seamless.
John Tobey Jr., the phenomenal quarterback.
Right, of course.
And it's well-deserved. John had a tremendous career, played football, played baseball, played basketball, ran track, I want to say also. So I mean, no-brainer.
But also being the son of the legend.
Exactly.
So I mean, and
but that being said, let's make it clear, John Tobey Jr. got in on his own
certainly
volition.
Well, I mean, those teams were powerhouses back then. And then, of course, John had another John who went to Bishop Hendricken and UConn, and I don't know if he's still trying to make it professionally in baseball, but I mean, he had a heck of a career at UConn.
The one thing that's most impressive to me, I've known, you grow up in Newport, and since Tobe was 4 years older than me, that was a big deal back when you're a little kid. And I looked up to him and I was like, oh my. So then when I got to know him, I thought that was really cool. And then I'll never forget this. I was driving down the highway in Palm Beach, Florida. I was just out of college and working for the Sheridan Corporation, their management training program. And I'm driving down 95, and there's this gigantic billboard for Salem cigarettes. And I look and I go, well, it's John Tobey. He was a model. Oh. And he did.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta Google it, man. He did commercials for orange juice and tuxedos, and those are just some of the ones off the top of my head. But John Tobey, bigger than life on a billboard, and it was all across the country. It wasn't just down in South Florida.
All roads lead back to Newport.
Exactly.
Some way, somehow. Exactly. We know that. Yeah. All right, so we've got John Tobey.
A lot of people say that John Tobey and I are the 2 best-looking guys ever to come out of
Newport. I've heard that. And Bob Angel.
Yes.
And Bob Angel is the third.
He was a close third, yep.
All right, we're going to go way back. I mean, you talk about legendary Newporters and people, who have supported the athletic department. George Triplett.
Oh, my God. If you find me somebody who can't find something good to say about George Triplett,
absolutely,
it's impossible. George was a 16-year member of the Newport School Committee and had such an impact that Sheffield School was renamed in his honor, right, when it was still open. But as an athlete, George was no slouch: track, football, basketball, and also, as you mentioned, just a contributor to the overall program at Rogers High School. And as I said, one of the nicest men you'll ever meet.
the annual Thanksgiving tournament over at the Hut, they named the sportsmanship award the George Triplets Sportsmanship Award.
And that says it. That
Right,
says it
right. I think it does.
Take it even one step further. When he graduated from Rogers High School, and I want to make sure I get my year right, 1955, he was voted as or named the most respected member of his senior class by his peers.
Right.
So that tells you a lot right there. Even
Absolutely.
as a young man, he was the kind of guy that he continued to be throughout his adult life.
Sure. Ron Eckert, 1958, class of 58.
Ron Eckert is just a tremendous guy. And that's the recurring theme. One of the things about this Hall of Fame, the bylaws state, it's nice that you're a good athlete, but you have to be a credit to your family, to your school, to your country. And Ron Eckert fits in all those categories. A little All-American at Uppsala College, an all-state football player at Rogers, played and coached in the United States Marine Corps, and then went on to an 18-year career, among other things, as an executive for the Washington Redskins, and was part of their two of their Super Bowl winning teams. So Ron's resume is second to none. Had the chance to get together with him when he was in town in the fall, and just had the most fascinating afternoon with him. Just a great guy, and another person who's, again, very happy and very pleased to be included in this class of 2020.
How many of the people did you guys split up the calls? Or?
Yeah, I contacted Kevin.
Kevin?
Oh, what?
Boy, I mean, let's not give it away.
No, I'm just giving the ones that we. So I got in touch with Kevin, Ron Eckert, and I can't say it yet.
Well, next, go ahead.
Well, we were inducting 9 individuals in one team. I happened to get in touch with the coach of the
team
of the 1985 girls softball team, state champions, Coach Ray Fullerton.
Right.
And that was an unbelievable. You talk about the heyday of Rogers girls athletics. Cross country.
The cross country team was the state
Basketball.
championship that year.
Softball. But the softball team featured Tricia Henry, Jackie Burgess, Sue Shea, Jane Corcoran, who's already in the Rogers Sports Hall of Fame. Just an unbelievable group. And Ray was their coach. And again, you talk about people who he was so happy for these girls. And he said, don't be surprised if they all show up.
Right.
Because they were a close-knit group. They've had reunions over the course of the years, the 34, 35 years since they all graduated, or most of them graduated. So, we're really pleased to include the 85 girls softball team.
We talked earlier this week, and I said that, sometimes we'll do a looking back feature where we'll take some old file photos, just a little bit championship teams, and we will go and say a little bit of something about them because people like old photos. Sure. And, we've got a great archive here. And Ray contacted me and said, can we get the photos? Unfortunately, I had to tell him that those were back on film and we no longer have access to them. But you could tell he really loved this team. Like this team kind of is his crowning achievement as a coach.
And he's got some great stories about, how the girls had a game and had to, the prom was that night. So that a lot of them were like changing from their uniforms into their prom gowns on the bus. And, just funny high school stuff, man. It's good stuff.
All right. We'll keep going here. Donald Gray, 1966.
Donald Gray was a tremendous baseball and basketball player, all-state in both sports. He lives now in Methuen, Massachusetts.
Oh, my neck of the woods.
Oh, is that your your neighborhood?
Merrimack Valley.
Okay. And so, Donald Gray was nominated by Maury Brick, and Maury said that Donald is one of the most humble guys you'll ever want to meet, and another one of those people who just couldn't believe that he was being recognized all these years later. So it's a good feeling to get to welcome these people back, because if Rogers means to them anywhere near what it means to me, it's a very proud thing.
All right. Nicole Lieber Kwasniewski.
A tremendous athlete. Probably
1996.
Probably the best female athlete to go to Rogers since Marty and Jane Corcoran.
Yeah.
And I don't want to slight anybody, but the fact, these are based on her participation in all-state nominations and nods in tennis, track, and softball. Nicole deserved her dad was a great baseball player, Mike Lieber, and her grandfather, George Lieber, was a tremendous athlete back in the day. So not really a surprise that,
Yeah, right.
Nice
lineage.
Exactly.
I know this guy. He used to be my dentist way back in the day, and he loved being on those New England championship teams. Stan Moody, 1965.
Stan Moody is a guy who obviously resume speaks for itself. He deserves to be in one of the all-time leading scorers in Rogers basketball history. I think he might be right behind two guys who are already in the Hall of Fame, and Donnie Call and Ernie DeWitt.
Right.
So Stan, no-brainer, well-deserved, and I think he'll be. I know he's happy that he's going to be it. I think he'll be happy to be there on May 9th.
That's great. All right, now we're going to get into some guys who, I love both of these guys. I've known these guys for
Same here.
Since the minute I walked in the door in 2005.
Same here. Who do you want to talk about first?
I don't know. All right, we're going to talk about Arthur Bell. I mean, who, I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he's just a tremendous guy. I just love the way he runs his program.
Yeah. He's he graduated the same year as I did. And I'll probably get emotional because he's going through a lot.
Right.
And same is true for the next guy that we're going to talk about. But Arthur, as a player, 3-time state champion, all-state at Rogers, already a member of the Coaches Hall of Fame in Rhode Island. An impeccable resume, has coached college football, has coached at Portsmouth, but now is the head coach at Middletown High School.
He's coached everywhere. He coached at Salve, he coached Portsmouth.
Bryant,
Rogers, he was on the Rogers staff for a little while. We did. Yeah. I think St. George's is the only school on the island where he has not been a coach.
Yeah. And he's going through some struggles.
Right.
He's got bile duct cancer. The chemo is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. But he was one of the people that I got to call. And he was pleased.
Yeah, I mean, he's, and he talked to Steve Rogers, too. Steve did a great job on that story. He's just got such a great attitude. Yeah. He's ready to take this thing head on.
Toughest kid I've ever known.
Yeah. What was he like in high school?
Oh, you didn't mess with him.
Well, he had long hair too. Way back in the day, we have some old photos of him.
Listening to Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath, and that was our.
Hasn't stopped. He hasn't stopped listening to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone knows. We just put a story on our website and I just found out just a couple days ago that Art is going to be the Athletic Administrators Association, the Rhode Island State, essentially the ADs. They all have an association for Rhode Island. He's going to be the 2019 recipient of the Male Coach of the Year.
That's great.
Yes, absolutely agreed. I read over his nomination, and it's, when you go through his accolades as far as what he's done over, he's been coaching for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Absolutely well deserved.
And he's got such a strong constitution himself, but his family, his sister, I know his sister Lisa, she's such a good supporter. His girlfriend Leslie, it's tremendous.
Right. All right. Last but absolutely not least, Jim Saris.
This is another guy I'll get emotional about.
Right.
I've known Jimmy my whole life and love him. Just love him. He's a 3-time state champion coach, coached 26 years at Rogers.
400 plus wins.
421 wins.
Yeah. Unbelievable. There's not a long list of guys who've won 400 basketball games in Rhode Island.
No. And he stepped down as a young man because he wanted to watch his own kids play.
Right.
And so I give him a lot of credit for that. And he's continued through his Saris Skills Academy and the camps and stuff that he runs. He loves, and I know for a fact, because I was involved in this, he was being looked at many years ago when I was broadcasting the Syracuse basketball games. I was always bragging to my coaching friends up there about this great young coach in Newport. And they said, well, if you say so, let's have him come up and work at our camp, and we'll see. But Jimmy wanted to stay here in Newport.
Right.
So.
We talked about it. He had opportunities.
Yeah. So I mean, I know firsthand it's true because I was part of it.
Right.
So no, I mean, I'm happy for all these inductees, but and we talk about Jim Arthur's struggles with bile duct cancer. Jimmy's going through his struggles as well, but he's gotten a clean bill of health as of the last time, as far as I know.
Yep.
And
he looks great. He came in here
does.
looking for a back issue of a newspaper.
Yeah.
We chatted for a little while, and he looks fantastic.
He just wanted a free newspaper.
Well, we gave it to him. 400 wins. You win 400 games, you get a free newspaper. That goes for anybody out there. So how's that?
No, so I mean, I think, and I think you'll agree. We put together a great class.
Yeah, I mean, this is I know the previous classes, but this one's a who's who.
Yeah, and we feel really great about it. Now we're working on the logistics of the dinner itself. Should be a great night.
Right. Yeah. Give us just give us a little bit about the dinner, how people can get tickets, who they have to contact, numbers to call.
Yeah, they can. We'll put out the info as soon as we know that it's going to be at the Easton's Beach Rotunda. It's going to be May 9th, 6:00. We not sure yet what the ticket price is going to be. We're working on that. We're working on the caterer. We're working on all the logistics, the awards, and that type of thing. But appreciate the city cooperating with us and helping us secure the rotunda. But after all, it is a city event for the Rogers High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
And you know what? I think a lot of people are excited that it's back.
Yeah, I think so.
Like it took effort and it took people time, because I'm sure that this was no easy endeavor to do this. I'm sure
it was a little more work than I thought it was going to be.
That's why it goes blank for 7 years. But it's not easy.
It was really worth it, Scott, because to be able to put together this class, and as I say, next year's class should be just as good.
Right.
Because there's no shortage of great teams, coaches, athletes that have graduated from Rogers High School.
Now, next class, can we count on Steve Hyder getting in there? I mean, does somebody need to nominate? I'll nominate you. I never saw you play, but your resume speaks for itself.
I appreciate that. No, I that's not why I got into this. I mean, thank you, though. Right now we're focusing on this class to get if people have questions, want tickets, information, they want to sponsor, they can get in touch with myself at 835-2500. That's my cell phone, 835-2500, or my email is sthsports27@gmail.com, or you can also call Johnny Dias at 862-0954. So
will you guys start you're active on Facebook. Will you guys start a website? Will you guys start a Facebook page? Something where maybe you could list, all your recipients, and
we do
kind of like make this almost like a history lesson if you go to this website or Facebook page or something like that.
We do have a website up.
Do you really?
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed to tell you that I don't know the
Google people.
Google what it is.
Google Rogers High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Marty Corcoran, Lee's son, Liam, put it together for us.
All right.
And
way to go, Liam.
Yeah. And so we've got that up, and we'll update it. We're going to put and this is really Bob Angel announced it today. We're announcing it here today. This is the first, and we'll post this on Facebook.
We will have it in the print edition and online as well of the Newport Daily News, with a little bit of background on each of the candidates. Thanks to you for compiling all that stuff.
That's all right.
And, we'll take it from there.
I feel like I know all these people intimately after these last few months of reading over their resumes and knowing.
Was there knockdown, drag out fights over like this guy's got to get in, or
No, it was. They had a good system in place. You put down your top 10 nominees, and then all 6 committee members. You take the 10 highest
point system,
and then you vote on them, and that's the way it came out.
Yeah, good stuff. Before we go, a little shout out here. Josh Krieger, former Daily News sports writer, comments congratulating Jim Saris. So Jim, from Josh, passing it along. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to everybody. This is really great. Glad to have it back. As we were saying early in the process, Middletown has theirs. Portsmouth just started theirs a little while ago.
Yeah.
Tiverton's got theirs. Rogers needed to get back.
Yeah.
The athletic tradition is just off the charts.
Listen, we've been at it at Rogers High School for 147, 148 years. People might think the school's not what it once was, and in terms of population and that, I agree, it's not. You can't argue. You need a new building, no question. But we're celebrating the tradition, the excellence that Rogers has sustained throughout the entire century and a half that it's been in existence. So, we can talk about the future some other time, but this is
Right.
tradition.
Honor in the past.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you for everyone who came in, and 19 people are watching us right now.
All right.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We'll have all the information, for the banquet, who to contact, how to get tickets, all the people. We're going to run a story in the Daily News online and in the print edition in the coming days. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.